theism, those who believe in God, then we believe then there is a soul that somehow is associated with birth, and then during the whole living process there are choices to make, and when we die, then there is consequence at death. So the living value then would be a series of good, bad, heaven, hell, choices, choices, choices. But look at this. This is duality, okay? But at least it's evolved above the other one. But it's still in the duality trap, all right? So causality, so we think God is responsible for example, creation of life, and so it creates some kind of a soul, which then which then, but then it also created the devil, which the devil tempts the Adam and Eve and eat the apple. So it's all the lifetime of choices, whether we become a saint or gangster, and then at the moment of death, the soul acquire all this experience and choices, and then when the soul leaves the body, we go either into the door of hell or the door of heaven. Okay. Next, please. So this kind of old traditional imagery or theology have a lot of problem, and we might as well face it in the modern times. Okay. And I've listed 9 of such problems, and the solution or the modernization is in blue color. The problems are in black and white color. So I won't go into this again, otherwise I'll be repeating lecture 3, okay? So it's just highlighting, recapping the major message from last time. Another major message from lecture 3 is that we look at form as a function of energy level. So if we look at the form of H2O, H2O is H2O, but we can't see the molecule of H2O. We see the form ice, water, or steam. And we recognize quickly that if you add heat energy to ice, it transforms it into liquid. You add more heat energy, it transforms it into steam. So the different forms we are looking at, the appearance is simply the same thing, H2O, but at different energy level. Correct? The higher the energy level, the more active the molecule seems to be, and therefore, as human, we can capture and understand low energy level things like ice. We know every molecule of the H and the hydrogen and oxygen. We know how the ice crystal looks like this. Okay. So that's an X-ray diffraction crystallography of what an ice crystal, the molecule, looks like. We know the position, the bond angle of every single molecule. As it becomes higher energy, well, it's still predictable. We still know many of the bond angles and so on. But because the water molecules are vibrating, the position is not fixed, okay? So now it has more information, but the information is now not entirely captured by human. Right? This is less information because it's a low energy. So we can equate form to energy to information. Okay. Then with steam or with vacuum or void, water will also boil in vacuum. The water molecule simply evaporate. You don't need to add heat energy. So it has the same effect. Therefore, in vast space, it's actually the water molecules are dispersed to God knows where, and therefore, as far as the human mind is concerned, the human cannot capture that information at all in that vast energy. So therefore, on top there, we can equate heat to energy content of the system, which translate into atomic position. And atomic position is whether it's random or not. Random is same as chaos. Chaos can be expressed in entropy, that's the scientific unit, and that entropy is actually information. Okay? So ultimately, it's information. Energy equals information. Form is simply an expression of energy. Okay? So when we talk about God and ghost, is ghost and God real? We can also look at it as in the bottom, very low energy level, it could be God, ghost. At the very highest energy level, there's the little dove there representing God. Okay? And then you can have angel in between. It could be different forms at different energy level. And in lecture 4 today, we're actually going to talk about energy level as level of consciousness. And that can be quantified just same way that entropy can quantify chaos. Another important lesson learned from lecture 3 is the concept of rebirth. Christianity denied rebirth. But actually, if you examine the concept of purgatory, hell, and so on, there's actually steps of rebirth, from the spirit into the embryo, grow up into the human. So it takes a different form of existence. Then it's born into purgatory, hell, which is another rebirth, and then it's perhaps born in heaven again. So there is actually, in the theology, describing rebirth. Next, please. In Buddhism, rebirth is sort of given. There's 6 cycle or realm of existence: human, animal, hell, ghost, asura, and heaven. And beings are continuously live and die, live and die, live and die, and reborn within this 6 realm like a good recycle. So another critical lesson learned from last lecture is, what is the most important question? The most important question is whether is God real or not. That's not the most important question. The most important question is that thing there, is ghost real? And it's an easier question for human to tackle, because we're probably at a high energy level than ghost. So it's easy, we can capture the information of lower energy things, right? So we can probably tackle this question much better than tackling the question of where to go, because we are at this energy level. So it's easy to find answer to a lower energy system than to try to comprehend a higher energy system. If ghosts exist, then spiritualism wins. If not, then atheists win. So this is the most critical question. Okay, so